Amber and welcome back to my channel, and it is Deweys reverse 24-hour readathon time. It is 8 p.m. It is officially the start of Deweys and I am super excited. I love Deweys. It is my favorite short readathon to participate in and I'm just really pumped. I am planning on reading longer things this time, I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna stick with that, though if I start to get a little bit sleepy I might switch out for some shorter things just so I feel like I'm accomplishing things. My first read this time is going to be Good Morning, Good Night, Little Pep Talks from You to Me, just so I can get something short done quickly, and then I'm gonna probably switch to an audiobook and take a bath. Because this one starts at nighttime, I'm probably going to take a short nap a little earlier in the readathon. And then probably, you know, hang out for the rest of it and try to get as much reading done as possible. Okay, so it's almost midnight. I've already read all of Good Morning, Good Night, Little Pep Talks for Me and You by Lin-Manuel Miranda and illustrated by Johnny Sun. I'm giving this one a 4. It wasn't, not every single pep talk I felt like deserved 5. So like this one only gets a 4. Me and the partner, since I finished this one very early on, have been listening to Bad Blood, and oh my goodness, I forgot how wild this was, and I've kind of had my laptop open just to like look up who, you know, other things these people do, because they'll like talk about them in reference to this story, and I want to know about their like lives otherwise, for like, you know, my own context of how this person got wrapped up in, you know, this case about this woman who basically was scamming the blood world, which is like the weirdest way to word that. But it's such a fascinating story, right, Pete? Mm-hmm. He's listening to it with me, but we went and got Taco Bell, so we were replenished with the fuel. I'm currently 32% of the way through Bad Blood, so we'll see how long it takes to get through it. I decided to make my own version of the bingo board by basically writing it down, and I've already completed 3 of the challenges. And when I complete this book, I will be able to mark 2 more off, which is pretty cool. So it's almost 3 a.m. and I've taken my bath and I am now finished with 2 more things, which is pretty cool. I have finished Bad Blood. It was so wild. I don't think I've told you what this is about. Bad Blood is about this woman who basically started her own found up, and it was called Theranos, and basically she convinced a bunch of people to invest, and her product wasn't functional, and it was basically it coming down. And the book is about the guy who brought it to the forefront of, hey, this is not a legit thing, and they're lying to a bunch of people about all of the shit that they're saying is true, it was so wild at how much of it is like, this can't be real. This person's so really dumb. How is this going on? And it was just a really interesting read. I'm gonna end up giving it 4 stars. There's just some parts that could have, you know, thematically gone a little bit better together. But in general, I gave it 4 stars, and it was a really good read, and I definitely recommend it. The other thing I read was Mooncakes. This is a graphic novel. I got it as an ARC through NetGalley. I had started earlier in the night, and so it was just me finishing up. This graphic novel is about this witch finding this wolf and basically finding out that this wolf is her childhood crush, and them kind of, you know, it's a graphic novel and it's not super long, so I'm not going to give you too many details after her finding her childhood crush that is a wolf. It's super cute, super queer, and it's got that whole finding your childhood crush after, you know, not seeing them for so long trope that I really like. And I gave it 5 stars, and it like ticked so many boxes for me. The next thing, however, I'm going to read is The Night of Cake and Puppets, but this is the 2.5 in the Daughter of Smoke and Bone series. It follows Karu's best friend, and I think this is where she gets a love interest, but it's a companion story, so I'm interested in picking it up. Hi friends, it's getting close to 5 o'clock and I am about to take a slight nap, but I have finished Night of Cake and Puppets. I'm giving this 4 stars. It is a cute romance between the characters, and I enjoyed it. Afterwards, I started The Only Girl in the World. I was hoping that I was gonna start Ivy Aberdeen's Letter to the World. I even put my little bookmark in. However, that didn't happen. This is my goal for the morning when I wake up from my nap. But right now, I am going to listen to my audiobook that I'm currently listening to because I am tired and I need a nap. Naps are so great. So I will be back soon. It's now about 1 o'clock. I took my nap and I finished The Only Girl in the World actually before I went to sleep, which was pretty nice. And then I just kind of zonked out. I also had started Ivy Aberdeen's Letter to the World, and I've been reading it since I woke up. I'm about 100 pages in now, and I am enjoying it very much. I'm going to continue to read this and eat some breakfast, and I've also started a couple pages of Wicked Fox while I was looking at something online, and I'm looking forward to finishing those two things. If I finish those and I can start something else, that'd be cool too, but we shall see. I will keep you updated. Okay, so it's about 6 o'clock. Me and my partner went and grabbed dinner. It is community day for Pokemon Go, so we've been catching Ralts while we were doing that. And I have finished 2 books since we last spoke. I finished Ivy Aberdeen's Letter to the World by Ashley Herring Blake. I am giving this book 4 stars. It's definitely very cute. I'm glad that Ashley Herring Blake is writing middle grade. However, there are plot points in this that just did not super make sense and weren't super fleshed out to the reader, be it through, you know, a scene or something. And I'll probably write more in my Goodreads or a different review about it, but there was a plot point that just kind of went, huh? And it wasn't explained to Ivy at the end, and it wasn't explained to the reader basically, and it confused me. And I understood it as an adult, but for a middle grade reader it probably would have been confusing, especially since Ivy is a very important part of her life, and with the instances that's going on in the story, it probably affected her. So I ended up giving this 4 stars. The other thing I finished was Wicked Fox by Kat Cho, about a girl who is a 9-tailed fox and she has to devour the souls of men, and then she saves a man, and her whole existence is basically put on the line because of it. I ended up giving this book a 3. I really enjoyed the beginning, and then as the story progressed, I started to enjoy it less and less. I haven't solidified exactly where the story kind of downfalled, but it seemed to, at one point, kind of just snowball into not where I was expecting it to go. And the ending kind of felt a little rushed as a result. And I'm not sure if I'm gonna pick up the sequel when it comes out, which is really disappointing because this is one of my favorite covers that I've seen this year. And I'm starting to wonder if I should stop pre-ordering debuts because they're debuts, and if I should start focusing on getting debuts from the library, even though I've been loving pre-ordering debuts. I'm either not getting to them immediately or I'm not enjoying them as much because this is the second debut that I've read in a very short time that I have not super loved, and I'm kind of sad about that. So we'll see where that decision in my brain heads. It is officially after the end of the readathon. I did not end up reading anything else, which is totally okay. I ended up reading 7 things, which is totally fine. I averaged out to reading 2,069 pages, and with an average of, you know, 296 pages per book, which is pretty cool. My average star rating was a 3.9, but let me quickly run through what I read during the last 24 hours. The readathon started with Good Morning, Good Night, Little Pep Talks for You and Me by Lin-Manuel Miranda and illustrated by Johnny Sun. I gave this one 4 stars. I then read Bad Blood, written by John Carraway. I ended up giving that book 4 stars as well. Next, I read Mooncakes, which was my only 5 star, so this was my favorite book of the readathon. Following Mooncakes, I read Night of Cake and Puppets by Laini Taylor. I ended up giving this one a 4 star. It was a 2.5 in the Daughter of Smoke and Bone series, and therefore I no longer have any more of the series to read. So then I read The Only Girl in the World. I ended up giving this one a 3 star. This is a nonfiction work. I'm not entirely sure how to go about talking about this one. I just know that it is a 3-star read for me. Then I read Ivy Aberdeen's Letter to the World by Ashley Herring Blake. I gave this one 4 stars, but this is a high 4. And lastly, I read Wicked Fox by Kat Cho. Obviously, this one was my longest book of the readathon, and I gave this one 3 stars. I think this one was my least favorite because it was my most disappointing, because I have been in love with this cover for so long, and I was hoping hoping for really great things. Okay, so that is everything I read during this readathon. What about you? Did you participate in Deweys? Let me know in the comments down below. If you like what you saw here today, be sure to like and subscribe. Thank you all so much for watching and have a nice day.